Hello and welcome to this episode of the Talent Optimization Minute. My name is Matt Pepsel. Today we're going to be talking about ambition and accountability. I saw this post on LinkedIn recently. It talks about how worker ambition is fading. That sounds terrible. It doesn't sound good at all. And when you go on to read a little bit of the headlines here, you talk about how a study from Qualtrics had found that workers have generally become less ambitious, as they described it. And as I went on to read the article, I determined that they're not exactly using this term exactly how I would use it. And we'll see why here in just a second. Workers are showing less inclination, for example, to work weekends, overtimes, and on holidays. This is a productivity metric, and I would argue that this is not the hallmark of an optimized company for sure, if we're expecting this on the regular. So it's a matter of trying to figure out why these workers aren't inclined to put in that discretionary effort we talk about sometimes when it comes to employee engagement. So already I'm scratching my head a little bit like, is that really a sign of ambition? I don't think that that's a very rational thing in terms of long-term mental health and productivity. That's not exactly what we want from our workers all the time, on occasion perhaps, but not all the time. Goes on to say that, according to the respondents, work has become significantly less important to them over the past 3 years. It is very clear and very true that the pandemic has forced workers to reprioritize what's important to them. When they say that work has become significantly less important, I agree if we're talking about crappy work with people that are not very nice to you and organizations that aren't very effective and certainly not talent optimized. That's certainly going to be the case. And for that reason, I like to go back to the talent optimization framework and examine some of the things we're seeing in the workplace. And this example from LinkedIn, this ambition comment is no exception. If you want workers to have high levels of ambition, to use their term, engagement or employee commitment, to use what I believe is a more appropriate term, then there's things that we have to do inside of the organization to help them be at their best. And here's an example. Let's use the framework. So when we start talking about business strategy, how do we articulate meaning? How do we ascribe the benefit that we're having on stakeholders, whatever it is our product or service is out there providing? How can they get behind that and feel good about the nature of the strategy, about what the organization is pursuing? Comes to design, all about teams, camaraderie. How do I know that I feel a sense of belonging because I'm working with people who care about my welfare? We're working on collective goals. When it comes to hire, you can think about job fit, and we think about competence. Can I feel confident in the work I'm doing? I feel good. I'm capable. I'm well suited for the type of work I'm being asked to do. That is a very important consideration. And once I've taken the job and I'm an effective employee, how do I experience growth? Could be in terms of learning new skills, could be growth in terms of my promotion and career pathing for early career professionals, whatever it might be. Growth is an important part of workers' commitment and employee loyalty as well. And then in terms of diagnose, all about employee performance and experience, Angela Myers uses this term called mattering. I matter. You want to feel that you matter in an organization. Sure, no workplace is going to be perfect. I haven't met a perfect leader or a perfect organization yet. But if you listen to employees, if we respond, we do our best to try to meet them where they are, then that sense of mattering it goes up. And that's an important thing. And then finally, in terms of business results, how can I see the impact that I'm having on the business results that stitches this whole thing together? If we have any gaps in these areas, it's going to end up the kind of work that showed up in the slide prior, where people are like, yeah, that type of work's not as important to me as family, as mental health, as all these other types of things. So when it talks about accountability, I hear a lot of leaders say, well, I want my people to be accountable and they need to be prepared to put their nose to the grindstone and all these kinds of things. Accountability to me is a give-get. Give in the terms of, if I'm doing everything I can, regardless of whatever level I'm at as a leader in an organization, to provide meaning and camaraderie and all these things I have highlighted on the screen, that's my give. That's me trying to create a talent optimized work environment and context for all employees. The get I get in return is that level of employee commitment, that willingness to put in that discretionary effort. These things tend to take care of themselves if we take a talent optimized approach. That's why this framework's so important. And that's why I love to use it as a lens to look at what's happening when I see it show up in the business press. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for your attention as always. The best way to reach me is on LinkedIn. Here's an easy way you can get over to me. If you have any questions about this, or there's anything else related to talent optimization you want to talk about, please don't be hesitant to hit me up. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your day.